Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John.
I'm Claire.
This is Many a True Nerd, and welcome to Carcassonne, an utterly classic game, but not really so much of the video variety. More of a board game, a classic board game. To my mind, a bit of a gateway board game. Like, this is the game, I think, where you cross the line from just playing, like, Monopoly and Pictionary at Christmas and start getting into being a proper hardcore board gamer. The sort that when they're figuring out what their content insurance needs to be, has to genuinely look at their board game shelf to figure out what the combined value of all the board games is, which we've had to do. That's a thing we've done. We actually have a separate little area of our content insurance reserved for the amount of board game. How many board games do you think we own?
It's not necessarily how many we have, but how big they are.
It's true, because like the big like Euro games are easily like well, I'd say like £40 would be a pretty cheap Euro game. To be honest, they're like the biggest games. Like, how much you got me StarCraft the board game as a present once upon a time? How much was that? Because that's quite expensive, wasn't it?
I think that was around £60–70.
£60–70.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically the big board games cost more than AAA video game releases. Carcassonne, however, fortunately does not. Carcassonne is a fairly simple game. Carcassonne is a game about building castles in France, because is it actually a town called Carcassonne in France?
It's a town called Carcassonne and it's fortified.
It's a fortified town. So in the game of Carcassonne, basically, you build little castles. And I brought Claire along, because while I could just humiliate the AI at this, it's more fun to humiliate Claire.
Great. Amazing.
So, let's dive into Carcassonne and we'll introduce this as we go along here. So say hello to your two grand heroes on this epic building adventure, Player 1 and their grand nemesis, Player 2. Yeah, in case you hadn't guessed from like the massive buttons, this is obviously pretty clearly a port of like a tablet version or something, which is fine because Carcassonne is not exactly a complicated game. So while you could add in particle effects, I'm not really sure it would necessarily help the game much. So, welcome to Carcassonne, which you can view from standard normal top-down perspective, or kind of stupid 3D perspective that's completely pointless and no one will ever use for anything again. The first thing we need to do is basically lay out the board. We're starting off with the river expansion set up, by the way. I think that's like an extra 79 pence on top or something. And we like the river, because the river just makes things a bit more interesting. So we're building cities, but we're also building like the surrounding countryside and all sorts of things. First thing we need to do is lay out a river. This is the starting tile. I'm going to play first, and what I happen to have drawn is this little tile here. This is actually not a bad start, because I happen to have drawn a city tile immediately, which is quite good. So, obviously, the yellow indicates where this can actually be played, so I'm just going to play this here. I could rotate it if I wanted to, but on this occasion, I'm just deciding which city I want to be slightly larger. Doesn't really make much of a difference. So, slap that down. Yeah, again, massive tablet button. And now I get to choose where I'm going to lay one of my meeples. That's what these are. These are meeples. Also up here in the top left. I have a certain number of them. I have 7. So once they're down, some of them can be recalled during the game, some of them can't. So just kind of don't throw down too many too quickly. Basically, what I want to do is claim a city fairly early on. So I'm basically just going to slap this lad down here and say this city, once we start building it out, is going to be mine for the time being. I then simply say that's acceptable and pass straight over to Claire at this point, and she gets a new tile.
And of course I get a really plain, slightly boring tile. I'm going to just put it over here, and I don't see any need to rotate it, so I'm just gonna have to put a dude down on a field. That's a farmer. Yeah,
Claire's basically decided she wants to elect to set up a farmer there. Farmers cannot be recalled during the course of the game, however. They're the only meeple that's actually stuck down permanently once you've laid them. Everything else could be recalled at various points.
But it's good to lay farmers down quickly because they're also one of the more competitive bits of this game.
Yeah, we'll explain how farmers work kind of as the board starts kind of evolving a little bit. But basically, you put your meeples down and they do different jobs over time. So me, I happen to own a city. Claire's got a farmer down. She's just a lowly peasant. I feel like that's in some way extremely flipping appropriate. So now I need to decide what orientation I want. I can have this down here or this over here. That's, again, Claire's just kind of looked slightly angry at me, because unfortunately I just happen to have drawn a second city tile there. The city tiles are cute, by the way, because they're still being constructed. They've got like little bits of construction stuff all over them. They only become actual towns once they're finished, and they flourish into life, which is really quite cute. So as I've got one city on this side of the river, I may as well go on the other side of the river at this point, and once again, I'm going to slap a person down. Lovely. Back over to Claire to see if Claire gets a bit better luck on this occasion. Aha!
Ah, that's
Claire has got something much better.
That is the Monastery Tile, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it is, yes.
So I'm going to put that down, and then, yeah, I can put a little meeple on, who's going to be, I guess, a monk.
Yep, he's going to be a monk now. So basically the thing about monasteries is they want to be surrounded. So if a monastery can be surrounded, so not only the tile, but like the 8 tiles that surround it, then Claire gets a little point bonanza and gets her monk back so she can deploy it somewhere else. So for once, a good stroke of luck for Claire here, which is she's got the monastery, which I think is actually one of the more valuable things you can draw during the initial laying of the river, and even better for Claire, because she wants all of these 8 tiles filled up. If a straight bit of river had been drawn here, the river would carry in this direction. Because it's actually now going to be a curve, and actually can only be this way, because otherwise this bit of road would clash with this, because it all has to look nice and form a lovely area, it has to turn around here. So the next tile's going to go around here. So Claire's basically got a monastery with 1, 2, and 3, and 4, at least, bare minimum, guaranteed around it straight away, which is actually pretty good. So Claire's got a good monastery there. There's some potential good points to be had. Now, I could lay down a farmer. I could lay down a farmer here and start competing with Claire's farmer, or I could go on a road. Basically, yeah, put down a guy on a road. You want the road to be complete. I'll probably pass for now and keep my meeples safe for the time being.
And once again, just a straight piece of river with not much on it. This little thing is just
yeah, it's just decorative.
Aesthetic.
But it's very cute. I like the fact that things are a bit more kind of, you know, mobile and bouncy, especially little meeples. They dance now, which is good. Admittedly, the real meeples are made out of wood, which is quite cute as well.
Oh yeah, and I could lay another farmer, but I'm going to hold out for now because I don't really know what the board is going to look like.
Yeah, laying out too many farmers too early can be a little bit on the risky side. Yay! It's another town for Jon! Towns for Jon! Towns for Jon! Oh, this is good. I might just actually have it going in this direction and then maybe not even claim it and just see if vaguely I can make it merge into this town. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, because otherwise I've got quite a lot of... Because, like, having 3 really tiny towns down, I'd be throwing down too many meeples too quickly. So I'm actually going to not claim that town and see if I can just merge it into the town I've already actually got going on.
And I've got a little piece of road, so I'm just going to place that. There's not really, again, any point in rotating it, but I'm going to put a little dude on the road. I believe they are canonically a thief.
Yes, I think they're the highwayman, actually.
Yeah.
It's technically a highwayman, I believe. So they're basically, he just to own the road when it's finished. The roads are cute too, by the way. The roads become paved when they're completed.
That's so nice.
So cute. That's so flipping cute. I've got a really boring one that doesn't really do anything, so I'll just have it vaguely loop back in towards me. And I think at this point, yeah, I'm not going to lay down any farmers either. We must be getting close. Don't worry, this game isn't just about rivers, by the way. This game, the river will end momentarily, and then we'll just start basically laying stuff without rivers on it everywhere. So I imagine the end of the river, the lake, is going to be showing up momentarily.
Yeah, I'm just putting that down and not adding a farmer, and... This might be the lake now. Yeah, there you go.
There's the lake. So, now we start drawing from the traditional deck of the remaining 70 tiles, and now we can start laying them everywhere. Obviously, now we can just basically, like, you know, there's lots of stuff that's compatible all over the shop. So, probably not a bad starting point for me would be if I wanted to. I could just say, well, I can basically start deciding where I want to develop at this point. I've got myself, I've got this city up here. I could just close off this city immediately, because this is obviously an edge piece. So if I were to put that there, then I could basically say this city would be completed, technically. I'd just get myself an easy 4 points, or 4 coins, in this particular game, and I'd get my meeple back to throw down somewhere else. But probably instead I'm just going to start slightly closing off this city, but not rushing into it too much. I'll slap that down. And because there's quite a few cities, or at least there's this city, there's something here, there's something here, I'm going to slap down a farmer on this side of the river, because Claire's farmer's on the other side of the river. Let's actually turn on farmer cam for the time being. Claire's farmer does actually go round the outside and get to this side of the river, because as long as there's an uninterrupted bit of greenery... So Claire's farmer's getting over here too, so we might end up in farmer wars. We'll have to see how that all shakes out over time, but I'm still happy to have a farmer down for the time being.
Ooh, that's a nice piece, my first town.
You could, in theory, go straight over to that one by the river, basically just get a free 4 points by immediately closing it, claiming it, and then getting the meeple back.
That is true. I possibly also want to be opening more towns on this side of the river where my farmer is, because that's how you score points on this side of the river.
Though be careful when you're dealing with that bit of road there, because that might cut off your farmer from everything to the right of it, potentially in future.
Yeah, so because I don't know what this river and this town is going to do for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and claim that town that Jon wasn't interested in.
Ah, so that's a free 4 points for you if you want.
Either I could do this town or I could go here and open a slightly bigger town, but that might be a bit more difficult. I'm going to score some easy points early on.
Yeah, basically if you complete a town and you have a meeple inside it, then it's worth 2 points per the size of the town. And now the town becomes a real town, isn't that cute? So Claire banked some easy early points there, but obviously bigger cities can be worth an awful lot more. I've just drawn a fairly boring bit of road tile over here. So, I was about to size it, and now I'm going to screw over Claire, but no, that's my city. I'd be screwing over myself. Remember, screw over Claire, not me. That's a very important thing to do. What I could do, however, is I could actually get some easy points down as well at this exact moment in time, because if I just basically slap this piece down here, immediately take the road for myself, then that road is an instant close. I think that's just like basically like, yeah, there it is. Becomes paved. I get 2 coins for free. And Claire gets lucky and draws the first normal monastery of the game, unfortunately.
And now it's probably time to introduce the concept of Monastery Town.
Yeah, Monastery Town. Everyone loves Monastery Town.
I'm going to very obviously go here because Monastery Town is the best way of scoring points.
Yeah, the monasteries obviously want to cluster because every monastery wants to be totally surrounded, so monasteries clustering together naturally happens. If you play this game at all, the idea of 4 monasteries clustered together is very, very common indeed. And speak of the devil... Speak of the devil. Unfortunately, Monastery Town is going to slightly struggle to expand around here because that is a monastery with no roads coming off it, and there's roads all over the shop around here. Let's have a look, see. What's going to be the most logical place where Monastery Town could expand to? Because I could go here, but then I'm kind of potentially screwing over my own development because I've actually got a city in that part of the world. I'm going to assume that sooner or later some of this is going to grow. Like, someone's going to want to claim this. That city's going to want to grow outwards as well. So I'm going to basically take that. And monasteries are not a bad investment. So Monastery Town, having just been introduced, has already failed miserably, unfortunately, on this occasion. Back over to Claire.
Speak for yourself.
Shh, Monastery Town is just 2 monasteries. That's more of just a monastery couple. Now, Claire's been lucky. She's drawn a city. Basically, you want to draw cities. Is Claire about to do the first act of town stealing in the game? I think she is.
It's not town stealing, it's town sharing, Jon.
It's town stealing. Basically, if someone's building a really big city, they've already invested loads of time into it. If you can just put a really inconvenient town piece vaguely close by to it, then as a result, and then you just slip your person on it, and then later that person has no choice but to merge their town into yours, then you share the points. So you can basically let someone else do all the work, then move in. This isn't really town stealing because I've only put down one thing and Claire's put down one thing. So in this occasion it is genuinely town sharing. But if someone was building a really expensive big mega town, you could try and shuffle into it at the last minute, and that can be very annoying. I'm intending to do it to Claire if at all possible, of course.
Yeah, there you go. I was about to say.
Pretty much. That's the plan, right? Flipping there. Yes. Has anyone got any... Actually, has anyone got any roads down? Oh, I've got one road down here.
That's me.
You're blue. Yes, I'm green. I need to remember. I'm green, Claire's blue. It's fine. Actually, I could take some easy points down over here, albeit it might make the town a little bit harder to grow, but there's some easy points going right here by taking this here road, because that road is going to be an instant complete, so that's just 3 points, but it's not bad, and it puts me slightly in the lead, which makes me feel good about life. Claire draws a fairly boring road too.
Thanks for helping with my monastery, by the way.
Yeah, that's actually true. I have been helping out with Claire's monasteries. That is very, very true indeed. I really need to keep an eye over on my monastery on the left in the green. And is Claire going to... Oh, Claire's helping out me. Lovely, thank you, Claire.
I'm still blue. That's my road.
I'm going to start figuring out who's who very soon. This is the problem with it being player 1 and player 2. Rather than Jon and Claire. Remember, Jon is green. Jon is green. Jon is green. Oh, hang on. Can I... sadly, I've got nothing I can do to lock Claire out of my town, unfortunately. Or I could say, screw the shared town. I will instead work on the town that I can work on by myself. And also, this town over here is helping out my monastery. So arguably, that's better anyway. And potentially, if I could vaguely get these 2 towns to join together... But I could vaguely try and start doing that like this. That's interesting. Start building a massive mega town just down in this direction. Though, to be honest, in terms of scoring, there's not really much point having like one mega town versus a couple of small towns close to it. You don't get bonus points as the town gets exponentially bigger. That isn't a thing in this game. But if you can, like, have a choice, if you can either put down pieces in a shared town or in a town that you think can just be yours, it's generally better to put it down in a town that you think can just be yours. Yes.
But also you want to make sure that you're able to close the town by the end of the game, otherwise it's worth half the points. Yeah, exactly. A town that's incomplete at the end of the game is only worth 1 point per tile in it, whereas it's 2 if it's actually closed. But we've still got 62 things to go down, so we've got plenty of time left. This here would be a risky move. It could kind of open up the way to a nice big town, but it also really opens up this town to being sniped, because this bit's not yet claimed, this bit wouldn't yet be claimed, so I'd be concerned about that. Instead, I've still got 3 meeples going. I'm just going to slap down an extra security meeple here just in case this turns into a separate town. But you can see here, I think it's already starting to look pretty. I like the way it's already starting to look. Right, and Claire again gets a nice closing tile. Closing tiles are convenient, but not a hugely obvious place to put it immediately. No, I don't think so, because I can't lock you out of the town that you started, which would be nice, but I don't actually have that many cities.
In theory, you could close out my city there and also finish your monastery at the same time.
Yeah, and gain back a meeple.
And gain back a meeple, because once the monastery is complete, the meeple returns to your hands.
Yeah, and I'll claim that road as well. I'll do that.
That's not the worst thing in the world. So, that is a finished town. It pops into existence, has little flags on it, and of course they are green flagged, because the green player was the person who had the town, which is pretty darn cute. Whereas that first town has the blue flags because it was Claire's town. I think that's really cute, by the way. And we've got, aha! I think we've got, that's our first little shield of the game, isn't it? A shield piece. Of course
you're the one to get it.
Yeah, a shield piece basically means this bit of town is worth double points. So that would be worth an additional 2 points as well as the 2 that a completed town is fundamentally worth. Or if we finish the game and this actually isn't finished, then it will be worth 1 plus an additional 1 for the shield. Also, probably at this point worth checking in what's going on with the farmers right now.
We're sharing.
We are indeed sharing at the moment, which is interesting. So right now it would be even. And yeah, the farmers basically want to be next to finished cities. So right now both of us have 1 farmer down next to this city, this city, this city if it gets completed, this city if it gets completed. So the farming wall
now.
Yeah, the farming wall could start getting busy. I could complete this immediately. You're right, I could complete this for both of us. Or I could just work on my own city and say screw you. Which I think is for the better, because if nothing else, if I just slap this down here, I've already got ownership of that city. I can actually lay down an extra farmer, because farmers are competitive. Whoever has the most farmers down over a particular area actually owns the farmland. So if I can just basically merge this into here any way at all, then I will gain control of this farmland. So farming is when this game starts getting nasty. Because you want the most farmers down the ground. But now I've got 2 actual meeples committed to farming I cannot use for anything else. Now Clara's got herself a road. You actually you do have someone on a road down at the bottom in the south there. So
I have 2 roads, which
Where's
is
your other
fine.
Road? Oh yeah, you've got the monastery. Oh, you could just finish off your second monastery right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Because at some point I'm gonna have to either claim another field somewhere else, another farm, or escalate the farm wall.
Yeah.
Which is just not a good idea. I don't want to spend 3 meeples on this farm.
Yeah.
So I feel like going down for 3 meeples on this farm would probably be a bit of a sunken cost fallacy.
Yeah.
So
there might be an escalation of the farming war towards the end of the game as we desperately throw down meeples in a desperate attempt to actually secure the farm points. Because the farm points can swing it. Because farm points are, yeah, 3 points per completed town it's adjacent to. But Claire takes a really nice early lead off the back of a couple of monasteries there. Very, very nicely done. But I've got the nicest city currently in production, if I do say so myself. I could put this here, but that's probably a bit ambitious, to be honest, even though it would help out my monastery. Probably best to just start basically closing off this city right here. So I'm just going to slap that down right away. No need for anything else right now. I'm definitely not escalating the farming war further. I literally have 2 meeples in my hands. Claire's 3. So I'm in potentially a difficult position. Claire's now got a good thing.
Finally a good thing. Now, I probably want to open up a new city as opposed to closing this one.
Yeah, fair enough.
This triangle tile isn't particularly rare, so I'm not worried about only having 50-ish tiles left.
Yeah, we've got plenty of tiles left. You can, there's an option in this game that you can actually basically, you get to look at all the remaining tiles if you want to. We disabled that because we thought that was a little bit cheap and cheaty. so we don't have that option on.
Now, if I wanted to be really mean, I could go here and put that tile down here, which would make this tile really difficult to complete and possibly impede Jon in his farming war.
I wouldn't care. There's still another 57 turns. I could basically go around the north or the south. It would be fine.
And I also don't necessarily agree that your super aggressive style of play, where you try to screw me over at every opportunity, is what works best.
Super aggressive play always works best in this game, alright? It's fine.
But the thing is, now that I've decided to probably not escalate this farming war, I don't want this farm here to get more cities closed, so I'm probably not going to be working on that at all. That's something that Jon's going to have to work for and give me the points, because it benefits him more than me now.
Fair enough. That's the downside of winning the farming war. You kind of take away anyone's incentive to work with you in that area. That is true.
I'm going to go and invest some down here in this part of the map that's not really been filled out yet, and I'm going to put a person in this nice town with a pennant.
Yep, unsurprising. Ooh, referring to them as pennants rather than shields. Well, ain't you fancy?
I thought that's what they were called in the rulebook.
I think that's true, actually. Now, I could finish off this town right now, close up this city, which would not be a bad thing. Or I could basically get a free... Yeah, I could get basically 4 points free up here, and also work on closing up the monastery a little bit too. In fact, having as many micro-cities as possible in this part of the world is a good idea, because I've got a couple of farmers down right now. So that's what I'm going to lay down immediately. So that is just a couple of free points to me for basically no cost whatsoever, and life is looking good. I've just realised something you're going to love, by the way. I've claimed that city, but I forgot to put a meeple in it. So
yes.
I've just basically turned down the 4 free points from that. So if I lose this game by 4 points or less at this point, I'm going to be very annoyed, because that was completely pointless. I would have just reclaimed that meeple the moment it went down. That's hilarious. Right, over to you. You've got yourself a road.
You see, my great weakness in this game is that I do not like a city that looks ugly or that has empty tiles. So I could go here and try and screw you over, but I don't like the way that looks.
Mm-hmm. So you're just going to extend your own road instead, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Extend your own road.
I'm not putting a new farmer down for the moment.
Okay, let's just quickly check the farming map here. So yeah, the farming map right now is being limited by this road and the river around here. But could theoretically, if it's spread down here, could basically encompass the entire map if it just spreads down here a little bit. I've got myself a nice corner tile up here that's making this city more and more flipping valuable, which I'm pretty flipping happy about, all things considered. So that's just going straight down there. And no, I'm not putting another farmer down right now. I only have 2 in hand. That's not enough. Claire's got herself a road and potentially could start expanding out her city a little bit too. That would look pleasant.
Yeah, that looks very nice.
Yeah, it follows your rules of it looks nice, and it also does actually help you, which is good.
I'm thinking about maybe putting down a farmer.
Oh, flip. The farming game is getting hot. The farming game is not normally this aggressive, only a third of the way into the game.
Well, it's because I've had to give up my, you know, earlier farm.
That is... Well, you're ready to give it up, and I think in all fairness, there might be a mega farm by the end of this game. This is looking to me like this might be a mega farm situation. We'll have to see. If we have a tie on the number of farmers, do we split the points? Yeah, everyone gets the points in the event of a tie, so effectively there was no point to them in the first place. Unless, of course, it's like a 4-player game where 2 people might also want to both get the points. But in a 2-player game, in the event of a tie, then all of the meeples were basically for nothing. So Claire's put down that farmer. That's a gamble farmer right there, because that's a farmer that's out kind of in the middle of nowhere. And, oh, lovely. Absolutely lovely. I'm happy to do that, even if it kind of helps out Claire's road, likely, because the moment I put that down there, at this point, there we go.
There you go.
Now that that farmer, this one over here, has been brought into the network, now all of a sudden I am owning a lot of territory that's looking like it might be around some completed cities. Absolutely flippin' love it. Okay, do I want to bother with... I've got 2 in hand. I'm going to try and steal Claire's road from her by actually being a highwayman on her road, because Claire's already invested in that road a little bit. So I'm going to help her out there. There we go. And Claire... Oh, Claire gets another monastery. Darn it. Monastery Town is a good town, but I think that's Claire's last meeple. Yeah, that's a difficult position to be in when you're out of meeples, because good stuff you might have to, in the end, just completely turn down. So that can be risky. That could be a risky place to be in. Do I want to try and do something with this? Or do I just want to extend this? I wouldn't mind bringing it in this direction to help out with this, but that's more difficult to close as a direct result. Whereas I could just say, actually, you know what, I'm going to start a new city moving in this direction. You know what, I'll just basically move this one.
Join them.
I could, but that's going to be fiddly to do. I'm just going to move out in this direction just so I've got a safe close going on there. That'll be absolutely fine, and I will not lay down another farmer at this point because I'm more cautious than Claire is about throwing my last meeple down the board. I always like to have one in hand. And that is, oh, that's going to be a valuable little city now. You've got 2 pennants on there.
Oh.
That's a nice little city right there.
Yeah.
I got myself, hey, was that close? That's a close. Yeah, that's a close. So I want that because I want this guy back. So yeah, I'll put that straight down right there. I don't want to lay down anything there. So I will simply have myself, and that is a big pile of 18
Ooh,
coins, putting me in the lead there. Oh, Claire's got another valuable pennant tile.
That's a good one, and I can't put it anywhere other than my current city.
Unless you start a new one, of course, yeah.
But I can't start a new one because I don't have a meeple.
Oh, of course you don't, yeah. So right now, Claire's got no... You see, this is the downside of having no meeples in hand. When good stuff shows up, it can limit your options quite severely.
That's fine. I don't have a problem with expanding my city.
You've got 47 turns. You've got plenty of time to potentially finish up that city. There'll be loads of time. And you want to expand it downwards to stay within range of your farmer, I see. Very good. Ooh, another close. Oh, that's good. I will take a... Actually, I could just take this one. Because that's probably... I think that's pretty... Oh, but then this might be difficult to do. But if I put this here, that could also be difficult.
Yeah, because at this point you're kind of left with mostly monasteries.
You see, the thing is, actually, the thing about monasteries is it's not so important to complete them, because monasteries aren't worth half points if uncompleted. Like, this monastery in this form would still be worth 8 as opposed to 9. So monasteries are like the least important thing in the game to finish, because they're still worth plenty of points regardless.
But I don't see why you're saying that that city would be difficult to finish up. Like, a triangle tile would do it, and there's plenty of those.
I think you're right, actually. You know what? And I've got 2 meeples in hand, so I'll take this as a little city.
Ah, there you go.
I mean, I probably should have actually just closed this just to get as many micro-cities as I can going on in this part of the world for the farming points, but...
You're not doing bad with 4 already closed.
You're right. Okay. Oh, Claire's got a good closed tile. That's kind of what you need down for your city down there, to be honest.
Do I have anything else that can be closed up? No, I don't. See, that's why it's annoying that I've kind of lost a meeple on that farm early on. Yeah.
Well, I think right now I've lost more meeples than you. Oh no, we've lost the same number of meeples. We've got 2 farmers down each. It's just one of yours is slightly out of the way.
Well, it's just that one of mine isn't going to earn any points.
Yeah, that's true. And now, aha! This works for me.
Ah, darn it.
Yep, I merged the road, so now Claire's road is my road, which works for me though. Do I dare put down my last meeple at this point? Do I have another meeple coming back to me at any point soon? Because I don't think I necessarily... Do I? I mean, this guy might come back to me at some point. The farmers aren't coming back. This road would need to be finished. I don't have a huge number of meeples that are coming back to me imminently.
Bear in mind, this road is already closed on one end, and I also want to close it.
Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I'm gonna throw down my last meeple as well. I'm gonna regret that. I'm seriously gonna regret it. But over to Claire, who has got herself, well, some road. Would you believe?
It's going to keep going here because it helps my monastery and it doesn't help you and your road-stealing ways. That's
true. It's helping your highwaymen. It's helping your monastery over there. So that all works nicely for me. I could just basically have this go down a little bit, just to make this a little bit easier to end at some point or other. Yeah, helps both of us. Then it helps both of us equally, which isn't good, because then I don't gain any advantage.
You just don't like helping.
For any reason. In this game, I don't like helping for any reason.
In this game, he says, in any game, you don't like helping.
So there's no point to that. I mean, I could potentially use it better to somehow screw you over slightly. Like...
How?
By trying to keep this separated from here and make sure this guy never manages to in any way get round here. Just by creating a longer and longer basic barrier to stop this farmer ever being able to join up to this whole area. That's how. That's how.
If you fancy.
Yeah, I think that's actually just the thing, in fact. So what I need to do is, if I just slap that down here, I just start creating more of a barrier wall that basically blocks off Claire's farmer from ever getting involved
So you're just trying to build a massive wall.
I'm building a massive wall, yes. And you've got a good closing tile there. That's another lucky draw for you, I'd say.
Yeah.
Is that completed?
Yeah, it is. And I get my meeple back.
Nice. Claire actually manages to get a meeple back in hand before me. A very long, thin city there. 18 points. Claire moves well into the lead there. And we have got ourselves...
That's an interesting tile.
Interesting tile. I might just literally close up this tiny one because farming points and meeple back in hand.
Yeah.
So I think that's sensible for me to do. So we'll have that. Meeple re-enters hand, just 4 points. Claire remains in the lead for the time being and gets another valuable pennant as well.
I'm going to go here and I'm going to extend in this direction and put my last meeple down.
Claire gets this last meeple straight back down over there. Claire is aggressively expanding down over there, yes. Okay, so we've got ourselves... There's nothing I can really do to help myself here, is there? Unless I could just create a small closed, just a tiny, tiny road just to basically get a free 2 points if there's an easy to close one. But I don't think there really is there?
Are you going to continue your silly wall project?
Yeah, the Great Wall project shall continue in that regard. Lovely.
But how is that even helping? That's not even going in the direction that you want.
It helps, Claire.
It has no meeple on it. It's ridiculous.
It doesn't need meeple on it. It's blocking your farmer from his aggressive expansion. Damn it, Claire's now drawing all the city tiles. Claire's getting some very lucky draws here.
I'm catching up.
But that's what I wanted to see right here.
Excellent.
That's a good tile, so I've got a city tile here. Alternatively, I could just basically move this over here and make this city easy to claim. I know it does help out... No, you're right, it helps out both of us. And last thing I want is to help out both of us. I'd rather have more over here, more and more finished cities, and this should be a relatively easy one.
Oh no, you're finishing up your monastery as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's a finished monastery. That's part of it too. I do not want more farmers down, and I don't have the spare meeples. But with a monk returning to my hand and an extra 9 points, Jon moves into the lead. But Claire has, Claire has a good city on the go. So that's something to be worried about.
Well, because I'm out of meeples, well, I could close this, but Jon will be closing it later probably for... I'm not sure if you're going to close it for farm points or just...
Yeah, you're right. Technically, if I close that, I gain more than you do because at the end of the game, the farm points, if I can maintain the farm lead. Or, actually, yeah, you're right. You could just start a little city down there, which also helps out your monastery.
But the problem is I don't have a meeple, and you're going to claim it just to annoy me.
Sorry, I didn't realise you weren't sitting on any meeples right now. Yeah, I think you need to do it just for the meeple.
Just for the meeple.
I get the farm points, you get the meeples, and we share the city. Look at the multicoloured flags going on. I like the multicoloured flags. That's a nice touch. Right, a nice pennant finally comes into my hands over here. Now, if I was feeling particularly aggressive, I could like try and claim this and then desperately try and grow into Claire's city. But I've got my own city going on over here. So I think that's fine. I'll just put it into my city over here. And no need to slap anything else down. We're entering kind of like the last... Not quite the last third of the game, but we're...
Yes.
Oh, gosh darn it. You and your monasteries. You've got like every monastery. And
monasteries are pretty good.
Monasteries are very good. And Monastery Town the second gets slapped down, I'm assuming. Oh, no. Separated by a road. The monks don't get on with each other.
Yeah, but that's better because it helps link all my fields together.
That is true.
And it also just has more stuff around it.
That is true. That is true and fair, yes.
Once again, my last meeple down.
And I've got multiple meeples in hand right now. And, oh, this is interesting. So I can't merge that into this city yet. I could try and aggressively...
I mean, you're just making more cities for my field down there.
That's true. The problem
You're not going to link the two fields now.
Yeah, but I'm trying to stop them being linked. That's the thing. I want to stop them being linked. I'm not trying to link them. I'm trying to stop the linkage.
I thought you were trying to link them to try and like steal my points from my cities down there.
No, I want to keep your farmer, this second farmer, out of this so I can keep dominating this. I'm building the wall. Which
makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, I'm building this wall to stop your farmer joining this bunch.
Oh yeah, then I'm definitely planning to do that. You should carry on with that stupid wall project of yours. It's very important.
As I've got 3 meeples in hand right now, begin Operation Town Steal. Because Claire's already invested more than me in this town. Damn it. Okay, so Operation Town Steal hasn't gone spectacularly well, to be honest. Oh... Operation Town Steal can go better than that if the other player doesn't immediately draw on a corner. So can you make it face the other way, please? Oh.
No, I can't. I won't. I mean, I can. I could, but I won't.
Boo. Boo, Claire.
Maybe if you had helped me like once or twice with roads or anything like that. Maybe if you were growing our common road instead of trying to do what? Block me from finishing
Yeah,
this?
I'm going to lay this down here because this road here, now there's a road facing it, is going to make it harder for Claire to close this city. You locked me out of Clareville, alright? I feel aggrieved. Aggrieved at Clareville. And... No, I don't need to rush farmers down. With only 2 on the field, and that guy at the south's probably stuck on the field for a while. That's going to cause trouble.
Now, yes, finally, I can do that.
Excellent.
There's no, you can't rotate it, so that's fine.
Yeah,
Let
there's
me
only
get the
one
person
available.
back.
And now it's paved! I do like the fact it goes paved. I like that. That's a lovely addition. Over to me as well, and... anything worth doing here? There might be a nice, easy road to be had here with 3... a completely pointless road, but there might still be a fairly nice few points to be had road-wise over there. Is there anything else? Anyone I can help reclaim or anything? Or... yeah, that's already...
You could go down here.
That's true. That just basically just slightly extends the farming as well. That kind of...
No, I meant because that's a road that you can close straight away and get points straight away.
That's true. That is that's an easy few points right there. So you're right. I may as well just take that for a bonus few points. And it's a very even game so far. I'm slightly ahead, but only just. And Claire might be able to do the same as well, actually.
I'm going to go here. And I'm going to stop closing this road, but in this direction so that as much as possible stays in the field.
Yep,
I'm not
fair
going to
enough,
lay anything
fair enough.
down.
Okay, over to 26 tiles remaining and a corner piece. And I could close you nice. Oh, it's a shame you didn't get that.
Oh, come on. Look, it looks like a Batville.
It's a what?
It looks like a bat signal.
A bat signal, got it. Right, what else is there? Ah, sadly it doesn't work over here because the thing's the wrong way round, which is a real shame. Any chance I could force a small town anywhere? Not really.
There's one place where it looks nice and it works well.
I might be able,
where that is.
I might be able to force a really small town.
I mean, you're just making that look terrible.
I am, but they're small towns and they're worth good points. Small towns worth good points.
But surely it would be easier to close if you go up a little bit.
That's probably not too difficult to close, all things considered. That's probably reasonable to close. I've got 3 meeples in hand right now, so throwing down a whole bunch of extras at this exact moment in time doesn't hurt me that bad. So I'm just going to slap down an extra meeple, see if I can just get an extra town going down, and hopefully also join it into my...
Yes!
And you were complaining you weren't getting good draws at the beginning of the game. Bloody hell. Yeah. Right, okay. So I'm guessing you're tossing down a monk there. That's Claire's last meeple, but she immediately reclaims one.
Yes,
9 points. And Claire actually moves into the lead with 62 points at the minute.
Yes.
But I'm waiting on some big field points at the end of the game, so everything's going to be fine. The problem is I need to be careful because I don't want that there because that blocks off my fields. So I need something that's going to let my fields get past over here.
Well, you could work on your stupid corner road.
I could. What else could I do to potentially screw over this city? Nothing I can do to screw over this city. I could just have this move a little bit more in this direction. That's going to be a bit harder to actually get moving in this direction. Yeah, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I can't think of anything that's more appropriate to do right now, unfortunately. I can't see any easy points to be grabbed, but go on then. Just slap that down, not much points there. And that's not going to do much, and unfortunately, yeah, I can't try, and once like an area is already in a farm, I can't lay a farmer down here to equalise the score. That is not allowed. Back over to... I hate you. How have you done? You're gonna win you're gonna win because of monasteries. You've got like I think like the last 4 monasteries in a row.
Did you have only 1 in the entire game?
I think so, yes.
That's amazing.
I think I had 1 monastery in the entire game. Amazing. Claire's quite possibly going to win on the back of all these bloody monasteries. Still can't get that down over there. Can get it to here. And that's not so bad, actually. That's reasonable. So let's get that down over there. And...
it upsets me to have a hole in the board.
yeah, well, I'll fix the hole in the board if I can.
No, you won't, because it'll benefit me. You'll just leave it, and it'll look terrible if I can't fix it.
I'm just considering what Claire's farmers might do. We're getting down to 22. I've still got 2 in hand. I might just lay down a security farmer. I might lay down a security farmer right here. Yeah, I'm laying down my first security farmer. That's farmer number 3. That's getting into dangerous territory. And Claire's... damn it! Boo!
Yes!
Boo! Boo, Claire!
Yes!
Boo! Boo your stupid town.
It does create a hole in the board, which I don't like, but at least
yeah, you can't create a hole in the board, Claire. It would look so ugly.
Oh, but look how nice my town looks now.
And Claire takes looks like an increasingly commanding lead here. If
you could claim that town.
Yeah, but if I put that down, then how's this going to get resolved in a way that doesn't block this farmer off from just about everything? I don't really, but then I suppose...
but it's a security farmer. It doesn't exist to score you points. It exists to try and get you involved in my field over there that I've built.
It was more just in case you tried to throw down some extra ones somewhere.
I literally told you at the beginning of the game I wasn't gonna. It's not my fault you don't believe me when I talk about my favourite playstyle.
Okay, I'll take an extra 4 points there, just up to 62, and we'll fill up the things. You got yourself a new corner piece.
Ooh, that's very nice. Let's see what we can do with that. There's not actually that many places it can go.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it down there.
Of course you're not.
The problem with going here is that it closes off my field, and that's not part of my field anymore, so I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
This helps Jon, which I'm not keen on.
Well, why not? I've been so nice. Okay, fine, fair enough. That is in your field at least, and it's nice and open, so there won't be any restrictions around it.
But it can't go... no, it can't go here because it's got too many things on every side.
Yeah.
I've only got 1 meeple left, though.
Yeah, you'll be throwing down your last meeple if you do that.
Yeah. And I have been trying to regain this meeple from the road for a super long time, and it's not really worked out, so... But yes, it is at least still in my field, so I'm going to do that. Yeah, I think I'm probably going to lay down a meeple.
The last meeple goes down. Now, come on, give me something I can actually do. Why do I keep getting pieces I can't do anything with over here? It's very irritating. I may as well just basically slap this down over here, but in such a way as it...
well, that's much more difficult to close, though, isn't it? It's 4 different sides. Well,
it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. It's going to be... I mean, I guess I could get this over here, and then at least I've got 2 edges I might have a chance. With only 18 tiles remaining, it probably won't happen regardless, but... at this point, I've got 3 open cities. Yeah. Which is not great, but that's probably the best bet for closing something here. And of course, Claire gets the closed ones. That's very convenient for potentially closing, or at least helping to close that bottom city a bit.
This is my second tile that could work for here.
Yeah, this is the second time you've got a tile that would actually help you close my flipping town. But she's not going to.
What would you do for me if I did it?
Well, what can I do for you at this point? You don't have anything you actually need doing.
Well, I would very much like a straight piece of road here.
If you close the town, if a straight piece of road becomes available, I will lay it down there, even though it does help out your highwayman. And it will screw over my farmer and make him a bit of a waste.
It won't screw over your farmer. You'll have the same amount of farming points, no matter what. The farms are currently not linked.
True.
Or I could work on, I suppose, finishing up my monastery.
I think you're better off just working on your southern city and just closing up one of the quarters, to be honest. Unless you're feeling particularly benevolent. I'm not sure there's anything I can do for you that I wouldn't probably end up doing anyway. You're better off just working in the south there.
Obviously, I can't open anything new because I don't have a meeple, and also that helps with your
I'd say that's probably the best you've got. Yeah, that's the best you've got going on, I'd say. And I get myself a boring flat bit of... If only Claire had helped me. I might have been, you know, interested in doing something with this, but...
It looks so nice though, Jon. It closes a hole in the board.
Does it though?
It makes it look so much nicer, John. Come on.
Does it? Or I could put it here.
It still helps me.
Yeah, or I could put it here. Those look terrible.
Oh, come on! Don't do that. Don't do that, please.
You just make it look absolutely terrible. Absolutely.
Don't make it completely useless.
Oh, completely useless road. How about this road up here? A nice road at the top of the source. That'd be good. Okay, fine. Fine, I'll do a nice thing that Claire wants to make the board look good. And also give you 9 flipping points.
Yes. Phew.
Can you at least now use that to potentially close up my city up north if you can? Now I've just given you 9 points for that thing. Oh, of course, now it doesn't work.
I'm so sorry.
Now it doesn't work. Now, of course, it doesn't cocking work. You may as well just close yours up. Take that, get a meeple back. You think you could do with having an extra meeple in hand?
I could do with having an extra meeple in hand.
Go for it.
Though I suppose if I did that, that would still be possible to close with a straight piece of road.
That helps both of us, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it then.
I'll do that.
And are you going to try and claim the city?
The thing is, if I was going to put it here... Did I
think you've already confirmed it. Now you're just choosing whether or not you want to commit the meeple.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'm not a very cautious player.
Town stealing scum. Town stealing scum. Oh, finally. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, well, at least it's easier. It's easier this way, and it's an extra couple of points for me. I could also get that there, or get that, like, there, but I feel like the easiest option is probably just to shove that there, and just sort of hope at that point, and I definitely don't need any of that down. I've only got 1 meeple in hand. 13 tiles remain. 13 tiles. Claire wants that monastery finished up if she can, of course.
Those monasteries, that's the thing. There are more than one.
Yeah, that would work.
So let's do that. The thing is, I wasn't necessarily planning to steal that city from you. I would benefit greatly from, like, a couple of very small cities there.
Now, this has got to be the best option for this.
Definitely.
I can't see any better option for any of this. So we'll close that off right there. And I definitely think we don't need to put down my final meeple as yet more farmers. That's a nice bunch of 14 points. Lovely. Claire's still in the lead, but only just. And I'm hoping the farming points will carry it for me at the end of the game with only 11 tiles remaining. As Claire
that seems very likely.
As well, actually, you've got right now like multiple unfinished monasteries. I think your unfinished monasteries will win you the game. Actually, I mean, just think of the number of points you haven't claimed yet on the monasteries. You must be actually. I think you've got this. I think you've got this on monasteries alone because just being the person who draws all the monasteries is a massive advantage. Oh, hang on, head down to the south.
Yeah.
Easy 4 points, just creating a loop road.
I don't have a meeple.
Ah, you're out of meeple. That's a shame.
And that wouldn't be 4, that'd be 3. Because there's a roundabout. Yeah, I guess I have a lot of monasteries. I was just thinking, where are all my meeples?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like I have a lot of meeples down.
You've got like 24 odd points right now committed on the board that are yours whatever happens pretty much on monasteries alone. So I think you're going to win just purely on monasteries at this point.
If I went here... Yeah, that delineates your field from mine, but it doesn't really do much good. There's nothing much I can do to screw you over up there, because that field is just giant. Yeah. Just make the board look nicer.
Okay, and also pave a road. Lovely. Got myself a massive thing. At least I can give myself a hand. That's like going to be like 1 extra point. No chance I can close this. 2 extra points, sorry. No chance I can actually close off any city with this in it. That's just a big... I think there's one of those in the game. They don't show up very often.
Yeah, and
they
always tend to show up at the end.
Yeah, which is just bad luck. Though actually, I'll shove it over here for safety, just because then Claire can't get into my city and steal those points. So just slap that down, and nothing I can do there, because obviously it's got no greenery, so no chance of slapping down any more farmers. Good piece from Claire there. Potentially probably just another bonus point from your southern city. At this point, we're just throwing it down anywhere where it's worth the odd spare points.
Yeah.
So probably just there, to be honest. Doesn't really matter. Probably that's better, just for help you expand further a bit more safely if need be, out to the south.
Yeah, and there's nothing I can do with those monasteries down there.
Yeah. Fine. And what else have we got coming up for me? Oh, another pennant. This is going to be the biggest, stupidest, most uncompleted city. All the pennants are now showing up. Marvellous. Okay.
I'm not going to close it in that time anyway.
No, there's no chance this is being closed. There's no point to any of this. So, okay, that's just some extra points. Claire gets a bit of road, and Claire really wanted that road too.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that. It just looks much nicer.
And Claire takes a big lead at this point, a commanding lead. I also just have some straight road. Anything I can do with it. Anything at all.
Just find the longest road that's not been claimed yet, where you can put something down, because you'll get the points at the end and you have extra meeples.
That is true. There's this here that's not desperately long. There's... I can't do that because that's there. I suppose technically there's... Well, I can't join onto that one, unfortunately. There's this here, which is worth 3. Yeah, I still have a meeple in hand, I suppose, so it's okay. I may as well just take, I guess, this spot. That's not the worst thing in the world. I can't see any way I can use this to expand my fields, or my field network in the slightest, so I don't think that's necessarily going to help. I mean, the bare minimum, this has got to be worth quite a few points around here.
Oh, yeah.
This is, I don't think it actually counteracts your monastery advantage at this point. I think I have at this point lost. But go on, let's have just a handful of extra bits and pieces.
Put down a meeple or you won't get points.
Hang on, I'm just thinking here. Is there any way I can try and vaguely invade your farm space by laying down a road tactically? Because if I could just stop you claiming these 6 points, I might have a chance. But I need to get a farmer down inside this area, which would be very difficult to do at this point. In fact, probably pretty much impossible.
Especially difficult to do when you've explained to me that's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, that is going to be difficult. The downside of commentating for YouTube, your opponent kind of knows what's going on occasion. Ah, fine. I can't do it. I'm just going to lay that down and just slap a meeple down over here, and then that will be an easy road to expand if more tiles show up, unfortunately. Okay, and Claire also just has a nice... Oh, you could just put that at the top. Actually, you probably get... That's a really easy... Do you have a meeple? That's some really easy points. They're just north of your city, inside your farming territory. That's a free... Yeah, that's a free road.
That's true. I do have a meeple.
Yeah, that's a free road right there. That's nice.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah,
yeah, that's
nice.
some good points.
That's a good 5
that's
points.
Some good, yeah, go for that.
Yeah, that's better than what I was thinking, which was give my monasteries an extra point each.
Okay, final few tiles. It's a closer, but I don't think I'm going to be closing anything off. To be perfectly honest, I don't think anything's getting closed in the slightest around here. I don't know if this is advantageous. I guess I could just make sure desperately to make sure Claire is not capable of moving into this city. Is probably not a bad idea. I've got at this point 1 meeple remaining. Oh,
I'm not trying to move into the city.
This is my one chance. This is my one chance. If in the next 4 tiles I can find a way to loop this into here, then I've got myself a... Oh, well, rather, I've denied Claire the 6 points. That is... Okay, come on, 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 come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It's the best bet I've got here. Oh... You've got yourself... That's not so bad. Actually, you could just add to your city in the south. Extra point down there.
I do not want to add to my city in the south. This is not going to get closed. This is going to get closed. It's going to get me farming points.
Okay. It is going to get... Well, it's going to get both of us farming points if I get my say.
Yeah, good.
Oh, okay, yeah, but the... Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Fair enough. Oh, is Claire going to start throwing down counteracting farmers?
I've not done it all game. I'm not going to start now.
Yeah, but the last 3 turns when everyone gets nasty, Claire hands me 10 points.
Oh, please. You're always nasty when you play this game.
Yeah, pretty much. Come on. Come on. How do we make happen? How make work? Now, okay, that extends my farm out to... Wait, I think that denies you the points here, because then farmer and farmer, or rather, we both get the points for this one. That's good enough for me. That has managed to slip my farmer up here, because I think we've both got farmers on here. I think we would split the points for this one. So that's an extra 3 points for me, right there. And I will take in addition... Actually, what if I slap down... No, I can't slap down an extra farmer to try and steal this city.
Can't.
More farmers. More farmers. Okay, keep 1 meeple in hand for emergencies. I think it's now the last 2. Come on. Come the flip on. Come on. We can make this work, damn it. We can make this work. And, yep, just an extra point with the city. I think this is the last one. Claire takes a nice, easy road there. Some nice points to be had there. And... what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I don't think I can do anything with this. Tragically, I don't think I can get my farmer extended into Claire's territory. Which is the saddest thing. The saddest thing that I cannot steal all of Claire's points. Is there anything else I can do with it? I guess I could just probably... as I can't extend it, I may as well just get myself an extra point on the road. I think that's your lot. I'm pretty sure you've won this. These monasteries alone more than counteract all of this. Because like monasteries are worth like 8...
I'm not convinced. I think farms
these are 8 points apiece. This is only 3 points a city.
Yeah, 8 and 7.
Okay, well this is tight. I don't know who wins this. I genuinely don't. So okay. I think that's the end of the game. Claire is currently ahead, but now we've got to add the extra stuff on, and I do not know who's won this. Okay, so now we add it on. Add on the roads. I get an extra 4 there. Do you have any unfinished?
I don't believe
okay,
so.
monasteries. Now you're going to get a big lead going on here. Look at that. You've got a flipping 26-point lead, and finished city is going to add to you a bit further. And there's an extra 1. Claire's got a massive lead right now. I had a big 7 there, though. Claire gets 9 there. And 24. No! No!
Yeah!
Oh my god, that happened! It actually happened! I just lost by less than 4 points!
Yes!
Remember that city at the beginning!
Yes!
That city at the beginning!
Oh,
Okay,
yes.
no,
Oh,
I win!
yes.
I win! Because if I'd claimed... No, review the board. If I'd claimed this city, I would have just won by 1 point. So basically, ladies and gentlemen, I just won Carcassonne.
Basically, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't forget to put meeples down when they got me points.
Damn it.
That road
would have
at
been
the
4
end, that
points.
got me 4 points.
Would have been 4 points if only I'd been putting like meeples down in sensible positions to like earn points rather than just repeatedly trying to screw you over with phantom roads that didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Do you think that might have helped?
On which you put no meeples. Do you know how many opportunities you had to close this very loopy, stupid road that does
won.
nothing?
Okay, I won this game.
You didn't win.
I won this game.
Player 1
because that
won this game.
Yeah, but
okay?
neither of us is called player 1 because
Oh,
all we need
I
to
see.
do is add on an extra 4 points because I misclicked at 1 point. We just need to add an extra 4 points. Add an extra 4 points for this city that blatantly is green, and I win.
It's not green. It doesn't have little flags, John. It's not yours,
It
alright?
it should be mine. It was mine.
It's a free city,
I can't believe
John.
it. I can't believe that I actually lost by less than 4 points when I forgot to claim a free... So basically, ladies and gentlemen, Carcassonne is a terrible game. It's the worst
on.
game. It's basically entirely luck. There's no skill in it whatsoever. The person that wins is basically just a person that happened to roll the right number.
I think you're thinking of Settlers of Catan.
I mean, quite frankly, I'm amazed I won by 1 point, even though you got all the monasteries. You got all the monasteries, and even then you couldn't win properly. You couldn't win with all the monasteries. This is Carcassonne, ladies and gentlemen. It's great. It's a great board game. I'm almost certain it's available on tablet and phone as well.
Oh, yeah,
Blatantly, this is a tablet version brought on Steam. I think it's pretty cheap on Steam as well. Link in the description below. It's a classic little board game. I'm glad to see it on Steam. I've had a lovely time playing it with Claire. I'm not sure Claire's had a lovely time playing with me. I'm not a person who's fun to play games with. I get very competitive with board games. That's true. That's
yeah, it is very,
so,
very
we
true.
will end things off here. I think, actually, we have another board game in mind we bring you at some point. So, expect to see that at some point in the future. But in the meantime, I've been John.
I've been Claire.
This has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Carcassonne. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
I've created a small problem in my road system, which is it's literally impossible for anyone to ever go back into town. And this building shall be where we produce our zebras. And this much taller building next door is naturally where we produce the giraffes. Does anyone remember how the road system went? I think it was something like this.